Good afternoon, students. Today we will discuss about relation between time domain analysis and frequency domain analysis. Frequency domain analysis, when order of system increases, it is not easy to analyze system by time response approach. But in that case, we use frequency domain analysis to analyze and design a system. In frequency response, the steady state response of a system to a sinusoidal input is termed as its frequency response. We suppose that this is an LTI system, and if we give this LTI system a sinusoidal input, we get also a sinusoidal input, but magnitude of output and phase of output is different from the input, while frequency is same. Means if this is an LTI system and value of RT is A sin omega t, if we take the Laplace transform of RT, we get Rs is equal to A omega divided by S square plus omega square. Similarly, the steady state response for this input output is equal to A multiplied by magnitude of Gj omega sin omega t plus psi. So we can say that when LTI system is subjected to a sinusoidal input, it will produce sinusoidal in output at steady state having same frequency. Means frequency of both input and output is same, but there is a difference between amplitude and phase. Means we give if we give an input to an LTI system A sin omega t, this is the input, and we get an output like this. Both are sinusoidal, frequency is same, but amplitude is different and phase is different. This transfer function Gj omega is a complex quantity and it can be represented as magnitude and phase angle with frequency omega as a variable parameter. So we can write transfer function Gj omega is equal to magnitude and phase angle. M is magnitude, psi is phase angle, and omega is equal to input frequency. So frequency response, in any frequency response, you have read about polar plot, Bode plot, Nyquist plot. In all frequency response, you have plot magnitude and phase against omega, where omega changes from 0 to infinite. And stability of system can be decided by such frequency response. Commonly used methods are Bode plot, polar plot, and Nyquist. So let us first discuss correlation between time domain and frequency domain for second order system. Consider a standard second order system with open loop transfer function Gs is given by omega n square divided by s plus 2 zeta omega n, where this is unity feedback, so value of Hs is equal to 1. Then because we have calculated frequency response, so we put S is equal to j omega. We put S is equal to j omega, S is equal to j omega, S is equal to j omega, and here H j omega is equal to 1. Now the closed loop transfer function in time domain is given by this, and in time domain This is the transfer function in time domain. In time domain, we calculate the value of PR, rise time, peak time, peak overshoot MP, value of peak overshoot MP, and value of settling time. And we see that in case of underdamped system, underdamped means in which value of zeta is less than 1. In case of underdamped system, second order system shows a overshoot MP at P is equal to P. Similarly, in frequency response, second order system shows a peak, and that peak is known as resonant peak, and corresponding frequency is known as resonant frequency. Means in time domain, second order system shows an overshoot MP at peak time. Similarly, second order system in frequency domain shows a resonant peak at corresponding frequency omega r. So first we calculate the value of MR. Here we substitute the value of S is equal to j omega. So we get an expression like this. Then we divide by omega n square. So we get C j omega divided by R j omega is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta j omega by omega n. If we put omega by omega n is equal to x, then we get Cj omega divided by Rj omega is equal to 1 by 1 plus x square 1 minus x square plus 2 zeta j x. Then magnitude is equal to 1 by under root real part square of real part plus square of imaginary part. At x, which will maximize the magnitude, we can write dm by dx is equal to 0. This is the magnitude m. So to get maximize magnitude, we differentiate this expression with respect to x. So dm by dx is equal to d by dx, means differentiation of this expression. And this is equal to minus half 1 minus x square whole square plus 4 zeta square x square raised to the power minus 3 by 2 and differentiation of this. So we get, after differentiation of this expression, we get the expression like this, and in this case this expression is equal to 0. So we get, from this expression we get x is equal to 0 or x square plus 2 zeta square minus 1 is equal to 0. So x square is equal to 1 minus 2 zeta square, or value of x is equal to under root 1 minus 2 zeta square, as x is equal to 0 has no practical significance. Because x is equal to 0, it means that omega is equal to omega n and it is equal to 0. When frequency is 0, it has no practical significance. So omega by omega n is equal to under root 1 minus 2 zeta square, which maximizes the n. So we get omega r is equal to omega n under root 1 minus 2 zeta square. If we substitute this value of omega r in m, we get the value of resonant peak. After simplifying this equation, we get the value of MR. Value of MR is given by 1 by 2 zeta multiplied by under root 1 minus zeta square. And so we get the value of MR. Value of MR is given by this, and value of MP is given by exponential minus j meter divided by under root 1 minus zeta square. Similarly, value of omega d is equal to omega n under root 1 minus zeta square. Looking at the above expression, we can certain correlation between time domain and frequency domain. Here, value of omega r is given, value of mr is given, omega d is given, and value of mp is given. Both mp, mp, and mr both are function of damping ratio zeta, and for satisfactory operation, value of mp should be around 10 to 15%, and value of MR should be around 1 to 1.4%. Suppose if value of MR will be greater than 1.5 or 1.4, then MP will cause serious problem. For MR greater than 1.5, system is subjected to noise, and this noise get amplified in the output. So it may cause serious problem, or we can say that stability reduces when value of MR is greater than 1.5. Second point, when zeta or damping ratio factor increases, MP decreases. Means damping ratio increases, overshoot decreases, and when value of zeta is 1, MP reduces to 0, or system does not produces any overshoot. Clear? While in frequency domain, MR vanishes if value of MR is 0. If value of MR is 0, or we can say that in frequency domain, MR will vanish if under root 1 minus 2 zeta square is equal to 0. Okay. Will vanish if under root 1 minus 2 zeta square is equal to 0, or when value of zeta is equal to 0.707, the resonant peak will be 0, and system will not exhibit any resonant peak. When omega is very small, suppose that less than 0.4, when omega is very small or less than 0.4, MP and MR both will be large. Here, when value of omega is less than 0.4, then value of MP is 100% or very large. Similarly, when value of omega is when value of zeta is in between this or less than 0.4, value of MR is infinite. Similarly, in this case, when value of zeta is less than 0.4, then in that case, value of MP is very large. So value of zeta is not desirable less than 0.4. So we can say that this is the desirable value of zeta, means less than 0.707 or greater than 0.4. In this case, both our MP and MR are compared to each other, and they are, as zeta approaches 0, when zeta approaches 0, MP is 100%, and when zeta approaches 0, here this is 0, not 1. When zeta approaches 0, value of MR is infinite. And both are undesirable because 100% overshoot is undesirable. Infinite value of MR is undesirable. Then next point is PR is inversely proportional to damping frequency or omega D. It means when zeta is small, omega is large, omega D is large. When zeta is small, value of omega D is large, and large value of omega, it means that TR is small. TR is small means rise time is small, means time. Speed is fast. Speed of response is fast. Similarly, when omega is small, omega R is small, omega R means resonant frequency is large, and omega R is small, omega R is large. It means rise time is small. Or we can say that this omega R or resonant frequency indicates the speed of response. If zeta is small, omega R is small, and hence the system is more fast in response. Hence omega R indicates the speed of response. In this case, when value of zeta is greater than 0.707, there is no overshoot in frequency response, and when value of zeta is less than 0.707, we get resonant peak. Similarly, in time domain analysis, when value of zeta is 1 or 2, 3, 4, then we get exponential response. There is no overshoot in this case. But when value of zeta is less than 1, we get a response like this. So these are the correlation between time domain and frequency domain. Then bandwidth. Bandwidth is the range of frequency up to omega b. Omega b is the cutoff frequency. At omega b, the magnitude of closed loop transfer function is 3 dB down from its zero frequency level. Yeah. So first we write the standard second order system. CS and RS is given by this expression, and then we put S is equal to J omega, and omega by omega n, put omega by omega n is equal to X. we get value of Cj omega by Rj omega, and then we calculate the magnitude of Cj omega by Rj omega, which is given by this expression. Then we take 20 log of this value, so we get 20 log 1 by under root 1 minus x square whole square plus 4 zeta square x square is equal to minus 3 as 3 dB down from 0 or reference level, 0 frequency level or reference level. So here we get minus 20 log under root 1 minus x square whole square plus 4 zeta square x square is equal to minus 3. Taking an antilog, we get this, and simplifying this equation, we get this expression, and after simplification and taking the root of this equation, we get the value of x square, and then we consider only positive value because we get bandwidth is always positive. So we consider only positive value. X is equal to this, and x is equal to omega b by omega n is equal to x. So bandwidth omega b is equal to x omega, and substituting the value of x, we get bandwidth is equal to this. What does bandwidth imply, or what is the significance of bandwidth? Large bandwidth means higher frequency can easily pass through system, and higher bandwidth means value of omega is large. TR or rise time is inversely proportional to omega. So faster rise time, it means that bandwidth gives the idea about transient response characteristics. Transient response characteristic, the specifications of transient response characteristics TR, TS, TP, and MP. So we can say that bandwidth gives the idea about transient response characteristics. Small bandwidth, sluggish. Small bandwidth means omega is value of omega is small, TR is large, so sluggish or slow system. But yeah, but large bandwidth means susceptibility to noise. Means if there is large bandwidth, noise is also large bandwidth noise is also passed through the system. So filtering, we can say that bandwidth noise filtering characteristic is also known. This is the frequency response of a system. Cutoff frequency omega is that point where magnitude has 0.707 or 1 by under root 2. Bandwidth is a function of omega n and zeta. So bandwidth is proportional to omega n. When value of damping ratio increases, bandwidth decreases. When damping ratio increases, bandwidth decreases, and both bandwidth and MR, resonant frequency P, is proportional to omega zeta, and this is the value of zeta. Now time is over. I will end my lecture here.